I am impelled and compelled to act upon every increasing opportunity to bring forth this desire, and so it is. So let us put this all together and see what it sounds like. I recognize that there is only one universal creative mind. I realize there can be no separation in the universal mind. Therefore, my mind is part of the universal creative mind, and when I speak my word, the universal mind acts upon my word without hesitation. I am convinced my word has power. I firmly believe this, and I now speak my word that I release, I let go, and I allow the creative universal mind to work through me. No past mistakes hinder or obstruct me. Procrastination and interference do not exist in my life. There is no delay in the universal mind, and I therefore know and expect results right now. I am willing to give up anything that hinders my desire. I am impelled and compelled to act upon every increasing opportunity to bring forth this desire, and so it is. This consciousness conditioning exercise has been carefully constructed to produce the best possible results, because it is based on the creative principle of mind. Take the time to use it and you will notice a significant increase in your ability to produce results. You will begin to realize more and more that your word has power. When you speak your word, something happens. You have been using this principle all your life, whether you are aware of it or not. The difference is now you can channel or focus it to produce the results you desire. Again, do not be fooled by its simplicity. This would be a big mistake. You now have a very powerful tool that will enable you to create what you want easier and faster, because you will be consciously cooperating and flowing with the creative principle of mind. Chapter 10: Who or what is stopping you? Have you ever wondered why most people expect the worst to happen, and why we suffer so much? Suffering is the payoff that we get for being miserable in order to be happy. Make no mistake, there is a tremendous payoff in being miserable and having to suffer. Suffering is socially acceptable behavior. It is even encouraged. Perhaps your whole belief system is based on that. Have you ever noticed how miserable some of our love songs are, such as, "The worst you ever gave me was the best I ever had"? The most popular greeting cards are the ones that have a lone tree or lone bird on them, and the most popular love songs are the songs that talk about loneliness. Many people go to sleep at night replaying role dialogues about the way a boss is going to fire them, or about the disease that they might get, or about the loved one who is going to leave them. The solution is to recognize that we have a choice about turning away from negative anticipation. I am not referring to ignoring problems, because it is important to face the challenges that we have today. But if we face them with clarity of mind, that is free from negative anticipation, we have infinitely more wisdom and energy with which to handle these problems. Breaking the pattern of worry. The most regrettable aspect of worry is that we've lived through the anticipated event before it ever happens. When the event finally does occur, it is rarely as we anticipated. We have therefore unnecessarily experienced it in the worst possible way, hour by hour, and day by day. Even when things are good, we worry that they won't last. Or, we create a beautiful relationship with another individual, and through worry, destroy it out of the fear of losing. Or we have a marvelous job and we're very successful at it, but we worry until something goes wrong, and we lose it. When you are worried, ask yourself, am I worrying constructively? Is this telling me something that needs to be changed? Or, is it out of fear? Fear of loss? Fear of abandonment? Fear of rejection? Fear of failure? Or fear of what may not be in the future? Face your worry, and see it as an illusion. It cannot exist, unless you give it power, and give it life. Worry really makes no sense at all. So why is it that we tend to believe in the worst? Why do we leap to illogical conclusions to the unlikely negative possibilities? Have you ever noticed that we often say that something is too good to be true, but never say that something is too bad to be true? This shows, at a deep inner level, that we usually expect the worst. Worry is a habit that we've picked up through imitation. It seems that deep down inside we do not have a fundamental trust that life supports us. Our bottom line belief is that life is out to get us, and if we don't worry, we will be caught off guard. Worry is a choice. Put very simply, worry is a choice. You always have the choice to worry or not to worry. Worry comes from the belief that you are powerless. But the truth about you is you're never powerless, unless you think you're powerless. The problem with worry is that we attract the very thing we are trying to avoid. We live a self-fulfilling prophecy. Life keeps its agreement with us through our beliefs, because whatever we think about, we bring about. Life is like a mirror. It reflects back whatever image we present to it. You always know what to do. Perhaps you are worried because you don't know what to do. Have no fear of not knowing what to do. When you stop resisting the unknown, you will begin to know what to do. Whenever you have a problem or a crisis, look for your own solution. Do not share it with others. You dilute the intensity of a problem by spreading it around, and you dilute your power and understanding necessary to remove it. Of course, this is exactly what everyone else does. But you no longer want to be confused by everyone else. There may be times when a problem in business, finances, health or relationships seems like a mountain in comparison to the particle of truth that you presently possess. Don't believe it for 1 second. Behind that particle of truth is the whole truth. It will reveal itself to you, if you will stay with it. The next time you find yourself in a perplexing situation, do something entirely different. Notice first of all how your mind seeks anxiously for an answer, or relief, and for reassurance. Now, break this pattern. Simply remain silent and say, what if I do not need the kind of answer that I assume that I do? And then stick to that. Do nothing else, and you will be amazed at the new solutions that will be revealed to you through your intuition. When you say, I don't know what to do, it usually means you are afraid to make a choice. At a deeper level you do know what to do, but you are afraid of making mistakes, or what others will think, if you carry out your own solutions. This attempt to escape the problem is the problem. See the logic of this. When you see that you are the problem, that you are one with the problem, and not separate from the problem, and that you should stop trying to escape the problem, it will be resolved. Finding the real problem. Do not try to use your memory or past experiences to solve problems. Why? When you try to use what you already know to solve a problem, you are using the same logic and reasoning to solve the problem that created the problem in the first place. When a person says that he or she has a problem, there is usually a deeper problem beneath it. People seldom mention the deeper problem, partly because they are unaware of it, and partly because they dislike admitting it. Always look to the deeper problem, or to the causative factor. Never ask, what can I do about my problem? In all the history of mankind, no one has ever found the answer to that question, because none exists. Always ask, what can I do with myself? This is an honest question, and will attract an honest answer. The mind becomes panicky when it meets a problem that it cannot solve. And in its anxiety to relieve the tension, it usually turns toward a false solution, which creates another problem. And so we keep going in circles. Finding the solution, there is a way to end it. Do not force a solution. A lot of solutions will be revealed to you. The right one will be revealed to you if you are not in a panic to find a solution. By shaking a compass you can make its needle swing around to any number of wrong directions. When you stop agitating it, the needle settles down to point to its true and natural direction. This is a good lesson in problem solving. We can practice quiet refusal to accept agitation and confusion as normal and necessary. Suppose a patient consults a doctor about an illness, and the doctor says, very well, I am going to prescribe some medicine for your neighbor. And the patient replies, thank you, I'll feel much better. This absurd logic is played 1,000,000 times every day in the minds of unconscious people, but few see it. An unconscious person always thinks that he is going to feel better if someone else changes. But the conscious or wise person realizes that medicine can heal the patient only if taken by the patient. People say that he made me unhappy, or it is her fault. But the only way to get rid of the self-punishing illusion is to ponder day and night upon this simple fact. When you bump your knee against a chair, the pain occurs because of what happened in your knee, not what happened in the chair. Taking responsibility for change, it is true that there are a lot of events in our lives over which we have little control. However, we do have infinite control over how we react to these events, especially if they relate to the people in our lives. We can change the way people are, and we shouldn't be able to, because they have a right to be who they are. We can, though, change the way in which we relate to them. Maybe your mother liked your sister better than you. Maybe your parents wanted a boy and you are a girl.